I'm what I'm referring to are the people who are in your lives on a day-to-day basis who, for whatever reason, you feel like they're not contributing to your progress. And the problem with that is that until you get to the environment that you're supposed to be in, like Mark said, the environment where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. When you get to that part, that environment where you're celebrated, that is the only time that people are going to contribute to your success because they celebrate the success that you have.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 4:21 a.m. But before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
Doing good, man. Other than the obvious self-reflection that is apparent in my face everywhere I go. With everything coming up the way it is, and all of the changes that's about to happen, that's about to take place, and the conversation that we had last week. Yeah, man, this like everything's going good, but I'm looking for better. I'm looking for that better than yesterday, boy. So I ain't really feeling the good, man. I'm trying to get the phenomenal. So, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm straight.
I feel that. It's interesting you said that too. I've been having that feeling like all week. Like I know I talk about the job and like we go to places where these people are living their best life. I'm talking about, and like some of these homes that I be doing my job at or whatever. Uh, it's summer homes. Like they built up real nice. Nobody's there. They got built-in fireplaces and all this other stuff, and I'm like sitting there like gritting my teeth. Like, how do I get to this level? Like, I want this for like not only my life, like my friends' life, my family's life, and it's right there in that back door, and like people go their whole life. And I know I said this before, like their whole life, not even enjoying scenery like this. Like they Lakeview property is just it's amazing. Like the first one I pulled up to, I'm just like, yo, this is somebody's view every day. Every morning they can walk out, take a
Mm-hmm.
deep breath, and just like
Mm-hmm.
listen to the waves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, this is we got to get on it. Like this is
But check this out. Like, it gets even better than that because like this is just Virginia.
facts.
It's just Virginia. Like I'd seen some stuff from like I kind of set myself up for failure. I'm like I 'cause, I'm big on like seeing your destiny, right?
Mm.
You like that exposure therapy, So I follow this dude. His name is Enos Yalmazar, and he's a I don't know if he's a real estate agent or not, but I just know he do home tours on YouTube, bro.
Hmm.
And like my man only does tours of mansions.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
like I watching some of these joints, bro, and like he started showing the joints like the like you said, the waterfront boys, the joints with the mountains in the background, the joints on the resort properties, like talking about beaches and stuff like that, bro. He did one with Grant Cardone of this joint in Calabasas. I'm talking that joint like right down the street from Kanye. Like
Wow.
that joint got his own. That joint got his own pier. I was like, yo, this like talking like 50,000 square foot homes and stuff, bruh. And like, yo, so for real, like I'm feeling that, bruh. Like I see it all the time, and that's also factoring into why why I've been feeling the way I'm feeling lately, man. So yeah, I'm on you. I'm on that with you, bruh.
Eh, it's it's a great feeling to have because like most people, they'll have that exposure. They'll have moments like that, and it'll be like completely opposite. It's
Mhm.
kind of like there's two people in the world where people see things they want and they go for it, they act on it, and then there's other
Yeah,
people that see things that they want and they're like it. It's almost like it brings them down even more. It's like they see it and they believe they can't possibly have a life like this, and it's just like they fall deeper and deeper into like depression or slump or you know something negative, and it's just like how do we live in a world where these two people coexist and like they be around each other, like the
yeah,
positive person don't rub off against the negative person. Well, it could go both ways, it all depends on like the person's mindset or whatever, how strong it is, how strong their beliefs and whatnot. But like it's an interesting world to live in, to know that there's two sides to that coin.
right. It's funny that you went there, bro. Because like I've gotten to a point recently where not only have I been imagine like all right. So here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
They always say that you can't get anywhere by yourself, right?
Mm.
And in order to imagine in order to like envision your future, you got to envision all of it. Like one of the things that I've been falling short at recently, bro, is like the relationships that I'm going to have with me, bro. And I think like cuz your relationships are going to be the thing that's going to push you to the next level.
Mm.
I mean, that's based off of what I'm hearing and based off of what I'm seeing in the culture of success. Like, is your relationships that take you places. And one of my problems is right now that the relationship part is what I can't imagine, if that make any sense. And I think it's based on I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I think it's just the what I'm seeing right now
Mhm.
is like, all right, how do I put this, bro? It's like I was having a conversation with Alyssa a few days ago, and she was saying something about the people in her life that don't show up for her. And I was just saying to myself, like, look, like these people got their own shit going on, so why would they? And then I started thinking about it again. I'm like, yo, like, why is it that we show up for everything that everybody got going on, but like we gotta struggle to be relevant to people.
Mm.
I'm like, how does that work? Like I gotta break my back to pull up on you. Meanwhile, meanwhile, like I got stuff going on and you ain't even asking about it. I'm like, yo, how does this work? Like, so like as it pertains to the relationship piece, man, I'm just like, yo, how do I get to a point where the relationships reflect the lifestyle that I want to have in my life? And like not only that, but what does those relationships look like? Like for real, like am I just successful and ain't got nobody with me? Like how does this work? Like everything is a business conversation. Like what does that look like? So like I've been on that recently because they say that every person has a team of people behind them, and I'm just like, yo, what does that look like? Like I don't know what that looks like from a success standpoint. So like I don't know, like that's pretty much where I wanted to go. I don't know, like that definitely is completely off field from, big houses, but like that's some fluff stuff, Um, we'll get to that in a second. So, but I want to have a real conversation here.
Okay, okay. I mean, with all that, I feel like everything is like, connected in a way. Like, everything, it kind of balances each other out. Like, what's the point of having that big house if you can't like fill every room with like people you love or people that love you, in return, that have that great relationship with you. It it takes time. You got to cultivate that. Like I noticed, um, like and growing up, it's only like a select few that actually like really, you know, mess with you like that. Like really could sit in a room. They don't talk to you like almost every day or whatever, but like it's almost the same. Like it's the first interaction you guys had. It's always, love, joy, or whatever. Uh, and I feel like those relationships only happen through, time. Uh, not everybody could sit down with you and like pick up on like your social cues. Not everybody's gonna be that person that, kind of tunes in to you. Like you could have a bad day and like not show it physically, but like uh someone that really knows you, that knows how you move through life or whatever, they pick up on the small things like, hey, you doing all right today? You acting a little different. The friends that, the coworkers, the people you meet through like work or through like uh a mutual environment, they'll never see that. But like that friend that you done cultivated, you done nurtured, that you done had a relationship with like for years, they can understand that. Um, but it all takes time. Like uh, I got that select three that, I've known for years. I've been with, like, we close, we thick as blood and all this other stuff, and it's, we had our rough times, our good times, our bad times, but like we stuck with each other. Um, and it's an ongoing debate on who's the glue of the friendship. It all takes time.
Yeah, like I feel that. However, that's a little shallower than where I was trying to go with that. Like,
Mm,
I I'm noticing like a lot of things with people, bro. Like,
mm.
I think I just watch too closely. Maybe I care too much
And
because
that that can happen too. Yeah.
I look for reasons to push people away for for protection's sake, if that make any sense.
Mm.
And like I started looking at how people operate, and I just like for the most part, like folks be calling you friend, and like I just be like, yo, I don't really like what I'm seeing right now. Like I don't like you
Mhm.
you running off at the lip about this other person. Like, and y'all supposed to be cool. Like I don't really mess with that. Or you act like based on a certain situation, you act a certain way towards me, and like then all of a sudden I gotta pretend like you didn't just do that shit. Like stuff like that. And and I feel you on the time thing, but I don't necessarily believe the time thing. Like I've seen people who they come into your world,
True.
and they you bond with them quicker than anybody that you've ever bonded with, and it's only been like a few months. Like I've seen that happen. Like you know, then other people that you got to be around for years, and then that's where y'all finally open up to each other. Like though I've seen both sides of the coin, so I don't know if it's a time thing, because like people in the military getting married after 30 days of knowing each other, so I don't really
Mm.
know if it's a time thing. So I feel you on that, but I think it's a little more complex, and and for real, like now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't really know why I'm even talking about it. But now that we here, that's I don't really know where to go from here.
All right. You know, so I feel like building relationships in any aspect. Uh, it's a I ain't gonna say it's like it's a chess game, but it all depends on your heart. Like you said, uh, there are people that kind of just like not fall in love, but like they connect almost instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and still with that, I believe like getting to the point where uh you fully know that person, maybe that's the timepiece that I'm talking about. Like you can like we connected pretty easily. Like
Yeah,
we had
yeah,
a like quick brief conversation about like what Pokemon or something. Group of people was talking about Pokemon.
yeah.
We started chatting it up, and then it was like, all right, we got similar interests, and then as the story goes, we started talking about a podcast. I wanted to do a podcast. Mac wanted to do a podcast. We started that jank, and fast
Here we
forward,
are.
here we are now. And we also started the podcast with many other people. And they're not here today. Whatever they're doing,
Yeah,
hopefully is something productive, something, you know, uh nothing negative, hopefully. We still wish for the
hopefully.
best. Um, but like I, it takes just like putting yourself out there, letting people in just a little bit to connect. Like, we were two strangers at one point in time, and now we're in this type of relationship right now. Like,
Hmm.
uh, I've been to Mac's house. I know his dreams. I know his aspirations, his affirmations, and I want to work just as hard as he is to at least build you up or have some type of contribution to your success. And it's just a back and forth relationship like that. And
Hmm.
not a lot of people are willing to even, think of getting into relationships with not only their partners, but like just people like that in general. People are so in themselves that when they meet new people, they're like, all right, how can this person benefit me? And that's where
Yeah,
you'll have those people where they're like,
yeah.
talking about people behind their back. Like, uh, they say they've been friends for years, but like you can't really tell. Like if you call yourselves friends, like what are you having enemies for? Because they're all damn near just about fighting almost each and every day or
Hmm.
whatever. And I'm like, if if you're at that point, like what's the point? Like why are y'all even calling yourselves friends? Like what is the definition of friends if
Yeah.
you're being like that? You know?
Yeah, like I just been like peeping things out. Like I know I said that already. I just kind of sit back and just pay and just analyze things, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm noticing like it's folks talking about talking about you my friend and all that, and I care for you, but answer me this, like how we friends if we ain't got each other number? How does that work? You don't tell me how that work. Like for real, like and I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but like for real, I got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
You got something going on. How do we communicate with each other through Facebook Messenger? Like how does that work? Like for real, like it's folks out here they using the word, and for real, like I'm gonna just be real with y'all, and I think this is based on trauma. Maybe I believe it's a trauma based thing, but like I don't like when people use the friend word or the love word. Like I hate it, bro. Like I really hate it. Like I don't like when people try to prove they love you by saying it. Like I ain't really feeling that. Like, I love you, you my best friend, and all that other stuff. Like, you can say it all you want, but actions speak louder than words to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, actions speak way louder. Like, we got this new thing going on in the company that we work for, right? And like, it's people who like been friends for years, right? And then all of a sudden they got this fraternization policy that they just came up with, but where you know, the upper echelons, I'm gonna say, they not allowed to communicate with people on the bottom. And I'm like, yo, it's people that y'all, you know, y'all came in this joint with. Y'all been rolling for years. Y'all been going to places outside of work for years, and then all of a sudden you just able to cut it off. Like, you just like in like midstream, you just cut it off. Like, I that is the strangest thing, man. So like, I see how folks are taking this relationship thing, and like, based on what I'm seeing, it's hard to believe. Like, you know, like, just seeing that in your environment, it's hard to believe that this, you know, relationships is going to be that thing that's going to push you forward when there's people out here who not really loyal to you or your cause. You know what I mean? Like, I can be in the middle of a conversation with somebody and I can explain to them, like, yo, this is what I'm going through. This is how I'm feeling right now. And this is what I need to do. But they could completely forget about your stuff and focus on their own agenda because their agenda seems more important than what you're going through at the moment. But then at the end of it all, when they done, they like, all right, now we can get back to your thing. As if it was like it was not important for a moment. Now we got to focus on my stuff. Now we can get back to yours in a, you know, in a minute whenever we you know, got some downtime. But I'm like, yo, like, this still not important to me. Like, I feel you that's important to you, but I can't focus on that because this is this goofy compared to what I got going on right now. Like, yo, I ain't really trying to hear that. Like, but we friends though, right? we friends. So like, it's stuff like that oh man, it's stuff like that really gets under my skin and makes it hard for me to understand that whole relationship piece when I see people like, you know, and this is a fictional character, but you know, I ain't never when I like in the history of watching Batman, everybody know who the fuck Bruce Wayne is, but Bruce Wayne ain't got no stories about nobody but himself.
Hmm.
Like, the most successful dude in the world, like, yo, you hear about him, but you never hear about the people that help them. And I ain't trying to say I want to do it on my own or I believe in doing it on my own. Like, if I need help to get to to get to my next level, then so be it. But like, what I'm saying is that it just seems like I'm depending on people who ain't consistent. And that's the issue that I'm having. Like, you know, people ain't consistent with each other. They not, you know, man, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Mark. I don't even know if I'm going in the right direction with this conversation, but like, I'm just saying, like, yo, folks ain't doing, like, when it comes to taking care of people, like,
Mm-hmm.
they don't take, like, you don't take care of you don't take care of me like you take care of you. And I get it, you know, because you and I'm me. I understand that, but like, I'm having to stretch myself way too far to keep people around. And I'm not like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is it that I'm doing that is mm, and I ain't trying to be mean when I say this, but I'm just saying, like, yo, if I'm stretching myself this far just to keep you interested in my life, like, keep you interested in me, keep you talking to me, like, if I got to do this much to communicate with you, to open up to you, like, I always got to be the first one to reach out to you. I always got to be the first one to speak. I always got to be the first one to do this, first one to do that. Like, what is the point of our relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm the relationship, where does that leave you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that goes for family, friends, everybody, bro. Like, yo, like, Alyssa tell me all the time, well, why didn't you call this person? Well, last time they called me.
Hmm. I feel that. That's very interesting. Like, and I believe it's there's certain things that add to that. Um, because I know court court is the exact same way. Uh, and you guys have like similar backgrounds. Um, I I really don't like. It's just like the saying goes. Go where you're accepted instead of going where you're tolerated.
Hmm.
Uh,
But I'm just trying to figure out like what does that look like as well? Like, because when ET said it,
mhm.
like were we talking about friendships at this point? Like, were we talking about that, like, accepted versus tolerated? Like were we talking about friendships, or were we talking about people who idolize your work? Like, and that's also one of the problems that I'm having there, because like if it's just talking about people who idolize your work, like I got that. Like that's people know, like there are people right now who waiting on AJ McMullen books. Like, so that part, I'm good on that. Like, I just want to know, like, and maybe one day I'll be able to ask him, like, what did he mean by that? Like, accepted versus tolerated. Like,
Mm.
people who hear your message, or the people in your life, or in your circle. But my bad. Go ahead, man. You got it.
I'd say with that question, all the above. Like, go into places where when you walk into a room, like everybody's excited to see you. Like at one point in time, uh, when I was growing up, I wanted to like make a friend in like almost like every state. I wanted to be able to go somewhere and like not really pay for place to stay, basically just like crash on somebody's couch, or like just have a person that I can connect with, that everywhere I go it's gonna be a great time. Like, uh and it's different from everybody, because like you said, there's a trauma aspect that would make you a little bit defensive in situations like that. uh Certain people, they can accept somebody being too friendly. Some people, they don't. They feel like because they're not friendly enough, they kind of be like a little standoffish on that person.
Mm,
It's tricky, because when you get into everybody, you can't really just put them in a category, and sometimes you just gotta play it by ear. Like, you connect with that person, um, and if they really want to be in your life, they'll make efforts to be in your life. It's just that simple. Like, it's there's no reason overthinking it, because like and that's crazy, because I just watched a video. Court was playing it about it was an interview with uh 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 dang, how did I forget Tyler Perry. There we go. He was doing an interview, and he was talking about people in his life. He's like, you have those people. People are like the parts of a tree. You got your people that are leaf people, you know, that's gonna be there with you. They can call you your friend, they can call you a friend or whatever. But when time gets rough, when the wind blows, they leave, they out. When seasons
yeah,
change, they out.
yeah.
You got your people that are branches, they with you for a long time, but over time as you grow,
Branches fall off.
they fall off. And then you got your people that are roots,
Root people.
that they ain't really seen, but they support you. They're there, through the thick and thin. They're not doing it to be flashy, to be out there. They just want to see you be successful. And there's a group of people out there like that. But like you got to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to let them find you. Like we've said on many episodes before, once you put in the work, once you put your head down, and it's gonna be lonely at first, but once you put your head down, get the work done, and have something to show for it, you'll have people flocking to you. Yes, you'll have to put yourself in those environments where, you know, those people will come to you to help. Like, you're an author, you'll go to book signings. You'll go to wherever authors, kind of put themselves out there to, get their books. Um, you know, I want to be a game designer. I'll go to game devs. I'll connect with people, and I'll be my authentic self. And people just, all right, he's a decent person. He's trying. He's working hard. Let's make him successful. Let's help him on his track to be successful. We're at a higher, point than he is, or we're trying to do the same thing. So how about we, grow together, or just I lift you up to my point, and we just keep going back and forth helping each other. Uh, many different things about relationships. There's many different things about individuals. I don't really, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, man. I just I feel like it's that lonely at the top thing speaking for itself. At this point, um, of course, for people listening, of course, I got my inner circle. That if I didn't, I wouldn't be here now. But like, there's a point. It gets, and I wanted let's be practical about this because like there's going to be people feeling this, right? And I wrote about this in my book where you get to this point where every time and I talked about it on the podcast too with the bungee cord, like
Mm.
uh, every time you try to stretch outside your comfort zone, you're going to want to turn back around, like, and this is going to be one of the biggest things that take you out when you heading up, because you're going to start to notice that the people around you, they ain't really hitting on nothing. The
Mm.
circle you keep ain't really hitting on nothing. So you're going to want to get to a point where you're going to want to expand outside of them, and you're going to want to move forward. And the problem with that notion is that when you move forward, it's only you there most of the time. Like you're the only one. So like is you're going to get lonely, not because not because you don't have people around. You'll find that you can grow even being around those people. Like you can move forward even being around those people because you don't even have to quit your job. I'm not talking about quitting your job. I'm not talking about leaving your family or anything like that. What I'm talking about is when your mindset starts to change and you start to move in a different direction spiritually, you're going to want to pull away from the people that's around you if they're not pushing you forward. But the problem with that is that at every turn, when you start to feel like I'm feeling right now, you're going to want to turn back. You're going to want to pull back and go back to the environment that used to make you feel good at the beginning, because the environment that you're moving into is too new, and you haven't established a comfort zone in a new environment that you're going to. So when you get there, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And it's going to feel so uncomfortable that you're going to want to turn back around and go back to that environment that you started off in, because that's where you felt the most comfortable. You're going to want to go back to the people who made you feel the most comfortable. And even if they made you feel uncomfortable, you know them, you know of them, you've been around them, and you know how to operate in that world, in that environment, and with that particular feeling. So when I say that, I when I say that, you going, it's lonely at the top, and it took me a long time to understand this, man. It took me way too long to understand this. When they said it's lonely at the top, they didn't mean that you was gonna be alone physically. They didn't necessarily mean that. But they said what they mean was, it's not going to be a lot of people that understand your struggle and understand what you're going through. And that's what I had to understand. That's what I'm still understanding now. Like no matter how many times I try to bring people into the fold, no matter how many, like I got plenty of friends. Like my phone is full of numbers, but like it's not that many people in my phone that I talk to. Like I still see people that I went to high school today and still avoid them, and they still probably don't even know who the hell I am. Like for real, like it's lonely at the top, not because there's not any people around you, but it's lonely at the top because there's not going to be a lot of people that understands where you're trying to go, and you got to be okay with that. And I bring this conversation up because I'm feeling it, man. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, like I'm feeling it. Like we got to a point last year, man, this is terrible. I ain't really even talk about it, Mark. But we got to a point last year, man, during this time of year, man. Um, it was a day that we had to work, and right before Christmas, right after Christmas, actually, it was like a few days after Christmas, or like that following week, and we had to get to work, man. And we got outside, and I went to go start the car, and the car didn't even start, bro. Like that joint was not even a click. Lights didn't come on, nothing. Like it was just done. And it's crazy because I got the remote or the little app joint to turn the car on. The car didn't turn on. I'm like, yo, that's weird. Like, how does that work? Went out there try to start that joint up. Nothing. Dead. Absolutely dead. And you know how we parked them joints in the driveway, like one behind the other. So that joint didn't start. Then I got in the other joint to try to get that joint up, and maybe we could just take that one to work. That one didn't start either. Both of the batteries dead, shot on the same day. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how that happened, but like this ain't good. Like I'm like, yo, we stuck. Like this, it was like I want to say it was like 20 degrees that morning, like bitter cold, like ice on the ground, ice on the road, like everywhere. Like it was bitter cold. So, um, and yeah, man, I was like, I don't know how to really move through the situation. Like, can't call nobody. Like, don't nobody live near us that'll be willing to help us, and everybody else who probably could help us, they at work, so they ain't about to risk the UPT to come help me with this problem. And I was like, this is a miserable feeling. Where I dealt with that issue all that day. And I was like, yo, I don't think there's anybody that we can call at this moment that can come help us with this problem. So like it boiled down to me being stuck in the Lowe's parking lot at 10:30 at night waiting on a Uber. Because we ended up getting one car started. I ended up getting a jump box and got the joint started. But we went to stop at Lowe's. So Alyssa wanted some Christmas lights. It was literally the day after Christmas. So I remember that because she wanted the Christmas lights, and the Christmas stuff go on sale 50% off everywhere. And we went to stop at Lowe's and turned the car off and came back, turned that joint on, and didn't start. So we ended up having to leave the car there overnight and go back home or whatever, because we left the house to get another battery for the other car, and then we were going to go charge the other joint, but that joint wouldn't start either because that joint was shot. So yeah, we ended up sitting there at Lowe's parking lot for like 3 hours. For whatever reason, we couldn't even depend on the fucking Uber. Like the Uber, it took them 3 hours to get there, bro. I don't know how that worked, but between Uber and Lyft, like they kept sending people and they kept dropping off. I was like, yo, this is really representative to how I'm feeling right now about life. So yeah, that happened, man. And like all this year, I just been kind of on that. Like I haven't forgot that situation because I'm like looking at my wife and I'm like, yo, this is I put you here because I ain't got the network. You know what I mean? Like you just it's like you talking about providing for your woman, and I got you sitting out in the cold, and bro, like after the sunset that day, like I said, it was 20 degrees that morning, right?
Hey.
20 degrees that morning. It got down to 15 that night, bro. At like 10:30 in a parking lot out in Colonial Heights near the water, bro. Like it got real bitter real fast. So I'm just sitting there looking at her like, man, like I put you in this situation because I ain't got the network. Like I was feeling that, bro. I was like, yo, this is terrible. I can't believe I did this to you.
Mm. It's I ain't gonna say it's a tricky subject. To, to put your faith in people or to have those friends around you that could be in a position to, you know, drop what they have going on and come help. I mean, not even just drop what they have going on, because there's plenty of people that probably are just at home, doing their regular routine, on the couch watching TV at those times. Some already probably in the bed or whatever. Um, I don't really know. Like, I know we got two different outlooks on that, uh, but like, I don't know, friendships and relationships. It's almost like a balancing act. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to
No
have
doubt.
those people in your life that are gonna be on your side. Like, you can have people in your life that they're only in your life because either one, y'all work together, two, they're benefiting some way, some form off of you, or they just genuinely want to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
I understand in that case, like, who do you call? You got
Mm-hmm.
this contact list of friends, but like, depending on where you live, there's no one around you that can get to you within, you know, uh, uh 30 minutes, 10, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it puts you in a real interesting situation, because like, you're sitting there, you're looking at your phone, you're going through your contacts, you're like, all right, who's in the area? Who would be willing to come out here to, jump my car, or, help me with the issue, with the problem. Um,
Mm-hmm.
find those people that would. Uh, you've helped me in court out in many situations. You came, place thermostat in, court's car, and the drive is just a little ways, just a little out of the way. You know, uh, Hopefully next time you'll think about us. We wouldn't mind coming out there. It'll take us a little while to get to you, but we'll get to you, no doubt. Um, it's
Well, that part was a little more of a the reason why I didn't call y'all, if you're wondering about that, because it added too much of an inconvenience. So we opted out of calling y'all because actually no, y'all were out of town, I believe, right? Y'all go somewhere on Christmas last year?
I think we were here during Christmas. I know
Okay.
we switched Thanksgiving and Christmas. Uh, one year we'll go to her family, and vice
But
versa.
it was just way too inconvenient. I was just like, you know what, I ain't doing that to them.
I understand.
Like I said, there's always the as a man, with toxic masculinity going through your blood at some points of life, you always feel like you can handle something. You
Oh, I froze.
you feel like you can handle it until you realize you can't. And I think that happened like at least 4 or 5 times that day. I thought I can handle, like, yeah, I got it. I can figure it out. Yeah. And I went to get the jump box. I was like, yeah, everything will be all right now. Everything will be all right now. It's just like it kept piling on. I was like, oh fuck. That's okay. All right, bet. All right. So what Marcus just explained is a biblical principle. You know, you give to the same measure that you wish to receive.
Hmm.
My issue is that I don't believe that most people are going to give in the same manner that they receive. That's my
Okay.
problem right there. Like, and it's real, it's realistic. And we Marcus and I have different perspectives on it. And he kind of relates to Alyssa in the same way, because she feels she does the same exact thing, but I watch how people receive,
Hmm.
and I watch how they give to others. and it don't look the same, bruh. It don't look the same. So like when folks think that they hiding and you know they think they doing things under the radar, I'm just looking like this ain't right. This ain't right. Like I don't know how to tell you that it ain't right, but it ain't right. I know you doing dirt. Like I know you wrong, but um, it ain't up to me to say, because like I'm just I'm just a passerby in this world right now. I'm coming through. I'm holding my head down, trying to get to that next level, be better than I was yesterday. And you every so often you come across some people where they test your they test your values, and my values have been tested to its limits at this point of my life. And I do plan on doing something about it, but I just wanted to bring it to this podcast because there are like things that people think they can't talk about, and this is one of those things, because it's like you bring it up to certain individuals, it's like, oh well, you got people like Marcus could have easily just been like, man, you tripping, bro, you got me, like, man, what the fuck you talking about? Like, he could have easily did that, but obviously I'm not talking about Marcus. Granted, we don't talk as much as we should, being that we got a business going on, but that's the different story. Um, I'm what I'm referring to are the people who are in your lives on a day-to-day basis who, for whatever reason, you feel like they're not contributing to your progress. And the problem with that is that until you get to the environment that you're supposed to be in, like Mark said, to the environment where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. When you get to that part, that environment where you're celebrated, that is the only time that people are going to contribute to your success because they celebrate the success that you have. Now, I want y'all to hear what I just said from earlier, that when I have a problem in my current space, when I have a problem, and this is the thing I couldn't get Alyssa to understand, that when I have a problem in my current space, the people around me, they not they not trying to help me through the problem because the problem ain't important, because what they going through is important. I get what I'm saying here. My problem isn't important to them, so they're going to ignore my problem. But my problem is the thing that is going to get me successful. But you gotta go where you celebrate and not where you tolerate it. So the people who are not going to the people who are not going to help you through your problem and help you get to that point where you celebrate it, those are the people that you're going to end up cutting off. I just want y'all to understand that, the people that come around you, like Mark said, what he said, what Mark said, everything he said was true. Like, it takes time. You're going to have to come across the right people. You got to go to the right environments to find those people. And if you're not going to those environments, you're never going to find them, because you can't sit back and wait for them to come to you. They're not going to come to you without you putting yourself out there. What he said was absolutely correct. And one of my problems is I'm grieving some of the people that I have become attached to along the way. And I know for a fact that they are limb people, branch people. They're going to end up getting cut off. I understand that. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is because I understand that. I know that. I get that. But there are other people you might be one of the people listening to this right now. You're like, yo, I don't want to cut those people off. And I get it. You're going to come to that, or you're going to be the type of person that grab your duct tape and try to get the limbs and the branches back on the tree after you cut them off, and that is okay. You're going to want to do that, but what I encourage you to do is go ahead and build you a bonfire and use that for wood, use that for heat to bring you to your next situation, your next level. So, I'm glad you said I'm glad you put that out there, Mark. The toleration versus celebration. I'm glad you put that out there, because for whatever reason I wasn't even thinking about it. But like that, even that makes sense more to me now during this conversation because like I didn't even think of it that way. Like, yo, for real, like if they not celebrating, if they not trying to help you through the problem, they can't celebrate you when the problem is resolved.
Hmm.
If they don't care, if they don't care about the problems that you have, and like for real, like I'm sitting here I'm dealing with the fact that I got a kid on the way. It's my first kid. You know, yeah, I'm on the family legacy thing. I want to be in a better position. Last week's conversation put me in a really weird headspace. I'm trying to figure all this out. Like everybody I talk to, they like, yeah, and just move on. Like I didn't even say it, Mark. Like I'm talking like every single person that I tried to had to talk to, men, women, like everybody, bro. Like and for whatever reason, nobody wants to have that conversation. Nobody wants to sit down to help me. Nobody is looking at me like, yo, you going through something? How can we resolve this? Like nobody, bro. Like I'm like, yo, how does this work? Like, and then for whatever reason, I still supposed to be friendly to these people. Like I just don't. That's the part I don't understand.
Hmm.
And then you got people, of course, they pretend to care. You know, they come and ask you, "Hey, I see something's wrong with you. Like, is there everything good?" Like, and then I tell them, and then they get stuck. That's how like, you know what? Never mind, man. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, eh, just be mindful. The depending on not depending on it, you go through these jobs and you'll have people like that. It's almost crazy how alike people are. Like, say you're the person that has been through a couple of jobs, 3, 4. You've noticed that people act the same like they did from the previous job or the previous
Hmm.
previous job,
Yeah.
and it's all your environment. Like, people have been bred to be that way. Uh, like, you'll have your people that they chop it up with you. Uh, but as soon as you do something that doesn't go their way, they're talking about you. You have those people that will
Hmm.
blindly help you. They just there just to do work. They're there to work, and that's what they do. They work. They help out, and they get the job done. In life, in like your personal life, it's the same thing. You're gonna have the same thing on the outside. You're gonna have the people that are there to chop it up. Mostly your neighbors. They see you in passing. They say hi, how you doing, but they don't know what's going on in your home. They ain't too worried about you or whatever. If they ever have any complaints about you, they'll definitely let you know or let someone else know
Hmm.
that'll come and come and check you. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's interesting. Like, when you get down to talking about other people and how they view your life, like, nobody's gonna, like you said, nobody's gonna see your vision like you see your vision. Nobody's gonna hold your goals, your dreams to a higher standard than you. Uh, so sometimes, yeah, you're gonna have to put your head down, work as hard as you can.
All the time, you got to put your head down, bro. You
Always.
can't focus. Yeah, you can't focus on what other people got going on, bro. I know and like I said, that's part of the frustration
Hmm.
as well. And some people deal with that frustration a lot harder than others. Like me personally, like if I could take it back to something that I like the trauma from my childhood that I was referring to earlier, Mark, is the fear of not being accepted by others was the issue for me. Like that's what this all boils down to. That's where this all started as. Like it's the fear of not being accepted by others and rejected by most. And I think like as I was as I was growing up, no, I was never really the popular kid. And I was always like, for whatever reason, hated by many. and I'm not really sure what I did. Like it just seemed like at home and at school, everybody hated me. Like my family didn't really mess with me like that. And then I get to school, I ain't got no friends. I'm getting people jumping me, like stuff like that. I never really talked to anybody. So like I'm just trying to figure out like, yo, is it just my appearance that offend y'all? Like what is that? Like did I, did I disrespect somebody's dead relative or something? I don't really know. Like that's beside the point. So like, it's based on just that alone. Like I feel disrespected when I'm not respected, or when I feel like I'm not respected, or like acknowledged. And like something happened yesterday, and it just it was like a visual representation of what I was feeling.
Mhm.
I'm just standing there, and there's like this group of management that walks past me, ma, and like not only do they walk past me, ma, they come into my blood circle. My
My lane.
that no square.
Mhm.
They come all up on that. Like, and bruh, would you believe that nobody even acknowledged the fact that I was there? Like
Mm.
I'm standing here. Imagine, I'm standing here first, and you just come and just like you push me out the way, like it's like you hey, you just move, like, and don't even acknowledge my presence. Like, yo, I'm a grown ass man, like, yo, for real, acknowledge me, fam. Like, yo, say hello or something. Like, I was always taught that, if you if you not the first person in the room, is your responsibility to speak when you get there. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like that. So like, for that to happen, it just made me start thinking about my actual life, and like it's the trauma that's speaking, it's and coming up, and I understand that, but I don't think I'll be fixing it no time soon because it seemed to be helping me out, bro. But it's helping me keep my head down. It's helping me understand that, yo, you got to get to that point. You got to get to wherever it is that when people celebrate people who's successful, you got to get to that point. And I don't know what it is, but it makes me fight harder when I think about the fact that, yo, I'm not acknowledged by people. For all my wrestling fans, like that stuff that Roman Reigns is talking about, acknowledge me, like that's real life. That's real. When you the head of your own table and people don't acknowledge you, fam, it's disrespectful. It's real disrespectful. So if you anything like me, use that fire. Let that fire burn, and when those branches fall off, throw them in there. Just
Hey,
throw them in. Don't think twice about it. Just throw them in, because that's going to be the thing that's going to push you forward. I don't know about those other folks. The passive folks, I ain't got no advice for y'all. I got no advice for y'all. Like, I don't know how you deal with that. Maybe you just ignore it, act like it ain't happening, but I can't do that. I don't have the ability to act like it ain't happening. I don't have the ability to act like ain't nobody disrespecting me on a daily basis. I don't even know how to do that. I see it every single time it happens. And I want y'all to know, if you know me, I see it every single time it happens. Like, I just want you to understand that. And I'm only using it to fuel my fire.
oh man, I feel that. Even I've had a similar situation. We were walking and we had that both that situation. We were leaving the job we worked at, and I don't know if it was during our busiest season or whatever. But like, we walked past the upper echelons, those people. And I was like, great work, everybody. We worked hard and all that other stuff. Didn't even bat an eye. Didn't even look my way. I was like, all righty, okay, all right.
Your vest want the right color. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, but like you're gonna have those people in your life, and
Mhm.
I just want to let y'all know that there's, like we said at the beginning, there's two people in this world: people that sees that and they want to work harder, and there's people that will see that and like just slip into an even deeper slump. Like,
I used to. They used to mess me up, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
and,
Yeah, you
and
must
it's
yeah.
gonna happen. It stings because, like you said, we're people that we we have a connection with connecting with people. It's just it's in our nature. But like going through this entrepreneur journey, you're gonna have people that don't give two flying about you. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen. Like Max said, put your head down and just work. Like it's gonna be lonely. A part of the journey is gonna be everybody's in their own vehicle, you're in your vehicle, and you have to get to that point. Once you get to your destination, then you can be celebrated by your peers, your family, But right now, when you're in the journey, the only people besides you are you yourself, and I. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a lonely journey, but once you get there, it's gonna make it worth wild. Like there's been many, sleepless nights, early mornings where people
I'm
have
talking
just been
early morning.
right, and not a lot of people are willing to get up at 3 a.m.,
Yeah,
4 a.m. You know, but if you're that person where your lifestyle, you have to get up at those times. Understand that not a lot of people are. Not you go on the road now at like three a.m., 4 a.m. You probably pass about maybe 4 5 cars. It ain't gonna be as it is at like five as
mm-hmm.
it is when society wakes up and everybody's going to work. It's it's just like that. You're gonna have your people that are gonna be with you at those dark times, and you're gonna have people that's gonna be with you at your light time. Um, hopefully your circle grows the more success you have in the correct way. Hopefully those people don't come around expecting handouts or gifts and they haven't been there.
They will.
Yeah, they'll come. uh Hopefully once you get to that point of success, you guys understand that you can deter those people. You can see that, all right, this person, he's only here because he sees my success. He wants something from me. And then you can tell when those people are around you that sees your success and they only wish more success upon you.
Yeah, it ain't hard to tell the difference. You're right.
Oh,
But yeah, that's you have been taught game by the Dirty Trump podcast.
right.
Yeah, that's a real life lesson, man. And I wish somebody had taught me that when I was younger, bro, because it would have made me focus a little bit more on myself. Like, we get to this point where, as humans, we try to, and some of us, I ain't gonna say all of us, like, uh, we get to this point where we try to make people like us,
Mm-hmm.
and like, I felt like I was like even recently, bro. I like found myself. I'm like, I asked Alyssa, I was like, you ever feel like you are stretching yourself way too far to try to get people to like you? Like, you ever feel like you just doing the most and doing all the work in the relationship and like it ain't being reciprocated? Like, I, I found myself doing that recently, bro. It's like folks have. I'm in a conversation with somebody recently, and they was just like, "Yo, I got people. Anybody who work here. If I got their number in my phone, it's under their first name in Amazon." I'm like, their last name is Amazon. I'm like, oh, I was like, wow. So we don't even learn last names. That's terrible.
That's true. That's true. I only did that to one person, but only because I actually got another person's name saved. I could have used last name.
Just I just put people last name, bro. Like, for real, like a network, bro. Like, yo, for real. Like, if I need something from you, like, yo, like, bro, Amazon, like, What is that? Like maybe in the notes, like in the notes, maybe yeah. Like yo, like I ask people for their last name when I put them in my phone. Like, what kind of world do we live in now, man? Terrible.
I mean, I ain't good with names anyway, so I'm just like,
And then they had a nerd to ask. They had a nerd to ask me something about Alyssa. I was like, probably because you got her in your phone as Alyssa Amazon. It might help if you change the mentality, if change your mentality about your relationship. Like maybe that might help a little bit. I don't know, but you know.
feel that, feel that. But yeah, this is
We're friends though, Mark.
it's a a this yeah the disconnection. Like people don't people like they used to anymore, and it's like there was a point in time where you could literally walk out your house, go to your neighbor, ask for eggs, cup of sugar. You try to do that now,
Bro, you get shot.
man. Exactly.
Right, the fucking dogs from next door start running around in the street and shit. They did escape the house and like they running all out in the neighborhood and stuff. And I remember the last time that shit happened, bro. Went to knock on my man's door. He gave us the stink eye like we did something wrong to him. I'm like, bro, it's your fucking dogs, dog. Like, what you mad at me for? He didn't even say thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's nobody has passion or empathy anymore. Like I commend the neighbors I have. You know, luckily we were blessed. They were here before, but like even before, me and Court got into this house.
Mm,
The story goes that, my grandma used to live here. It's my grandma's old house.
yeah.
Before she got, hit with dementia. And she couldn't stay by herself. Even
Mm,
then, like, neighbors across the rocks, we would come in after, hearing that, she needed to be checked on or whatever. She had a moment and we'd come in, neighbors sitting on the couch, legs crossed, just having a good old conversation with her, checking on her. Even now, they'll ask like in passing, I see them early morning getting ready for work or whatever, or after work, they'll ask, how's your grandma been? Seen your mom the other day, and I didn't know if she was still around or anything. Your grandma, whatever. I ain't wanted to make it an awkward, situation. I'm like, this was before she had passed, but
yeah, yeah,
uh, yeah, just having that little moment of, compassion can go a long way. Like they don't know how I was feeling or the situation that was going on, but they asked.
yeah.
Um, just things like that. Our neighbors, they got, the pens full of dogs. Their dogs break out, get into our yard a little bit. Um,
They give you the main
they
mug when you knock on their door.
no, surprise. I think it was like just the kids were home or whatever. They got a couple of kids in high school and a couple of them in middle school or whatever. Little girl, she's running around. I'm trying to, go get food for me in court. So I see her running around chasing the dog. Dog won't come. It's a big dog. I think it's like a pit bull or something. Big old pit
Hmm.
bull, whatever. Too big for her to handle. So she got
Yeah,
it by the collar or whatever, and dog dragging her. So I'm like, all right, park the car, stop, get out. She asks, it's like, oh, you're the neighbor next door. I was like, yeah. I'm like, need some help? She's like, yeah, he gets out all the time or whatever, all this other stuff. We don't know how he's getting out. I'm like, all right, get the dog, come to us. And dog pretty big, so I'm like, is he gonna bite when I pick him up? Cause like just to get this situation over with, I gotta get food for me and my girl or whatever. Just pick the dog up and take him in the house or something. But like just little moments like that, like you'll have people that see a struggling child and won't do anything, won't even bat an eye. Like just
yeah,
like
bro.
those.
Because we live in a world where people attack you for every single thing, bro. Like it's not. it's not like everything is safe anymore. Like
That's true.
folks folks start getting self-conscious about their environments, and they see you helping they child. Like we say a child, like how old are we talking again? Like did you say?
I don't know her age. She was probably about like in middle school. She looked she was small. So
Okay, so we talking about a teenager. So yeah, like even then with teenagers, like they don't need like teenagers trick or treat no more, bro. Like so, like they folks are nervous about their kids. So
yeah.
you know, we live in a world that we somebody will mess around and call the police on you because they see you, they see you trying to help their kids. Like it's harassment because you got in a tussle with this dog and you trying to steal the dog, and then if you a certain color, then don't even go there. Like I know
Yeah,
everybody, most people in Lawrenceville are black, so you ain't got to worry about that. But yeah,
like back to the whole situation, like the emotion for compassion and empathy is like non-existent. It's crazy you mentioned that because there's this whole thing going around on uh social media now. It's a viral thing where like it was this woman. She was struggling in the gym, but she had like the whole tripod or whatever set up,
hmm
and none of the guys would go help her because for some reason, like a gym mentality is supposed to be, supposed to be healthy. They promote that. They promote help somebody if they need it. Like weights are heavy. Like if you're working out for a long period of time, your limbs go numb. Like
I
it's
understand it.
gonna happen. That's why you have spotters.
I'm
But
just saying
like
I understand it. Mind your business.
there was this woman that was struggling at the gym. She was doing her set, and then all of a sudden she couldn't get it back on the bar, so she looking like she rowing the boat or whatever. And like
Yeah, I saw that.
guys was like,
More power to you, honey.
and then they blew up on the people that was in the gym at the time. I was like, how could they see this woman struggling? But like y'all made it an unsafe space to where, like you said, like helping is almost a life or death situation now. Like
Yeah, I got cussed out by trying to help with a heavy box yesterday.
all right.
So I get it.
I'm like, what type of environment are we? What type of just life in general are we living where I have to think about helping? I have to weigh the options to go into a situation of helping. Like you do have people that have like big hearts out here that mean just mean well, and then you hit them with some BS on the because they were trying to do the right thing. Like you got people out here raised to open the door for a lady. You know, if you see a woman struggling or you see a house on fire, you run in the burning building to, save a life or something. You have people like that, but like because of cancel culture and because we're so toxic, it's just like nah. It don't affect me. It's not my immediate circle, so why should I? Why would
Right,
I? You know,
right.
it's just, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
There's this crazy world that we live in, man. And it's getting worse. It ain't getting no better.
Mhm.
So like we just got to prepare for it the way we see fit, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and shut this down, man.
I was gonna say something else, but that's a whole nother topic. We do that podcast.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely don't do no half topic at the end. We see how that worked out on the last episode.
all right, what we got coming up for the people?
Um, it's already the 16th of November, and I ain't really that far into my word count for Nano. So we're gonna rectify that a little bit today. But I don't know if I'm gonna make it this time, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's gonna take some rough nights for me to make it this time. And I don't really know if I got that in me right now, because I do got a lot of other stuff happening. But I definitely do need to finish that book though before January. Um, just based on the fact that I got some stuff that I got coming up. Right now, like I'm in the middle of a war of words with TikTok because for some reason they suspended my account. I can't log into TikTok right now. So my marketing efforts have been transferred for the time being. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. They claim I ain't got no violations, but for whatever reason I can't log in. So we'll see how that works out in the end. But um I have a feeling like I'm gonna spend way more time on that today than I need to, trying to get that joint reinstated. Um, but yeah, man, I ain't really got much coming up at the moment, so yeah, I'm gonna just let it ride.
Word. Just been working on a couple of things when I can. Trying to just like immerse myself in, those aspects. Immerse myself in the whole, uh, creating things on Blender, learning the tips, the tricks, the foundation of anything, Blender, coding, all that other stuff. Just trying to set the concrete foundation board so I can start building houses and like, real estate in those areas.
Hmm.
So yeah. Yeah.
I just learned that it's gonna be another 3 years of college before I get to my core classes, bro.
That's what I don't understand. I tried to tell the advisor person or whatever. I'm like, yo, just give me all the electives. I'm gonna take those, knock those out the park, and then I want all the core janks back to back to back, so I don't forget nothing. I don't take a break from nothing. That's what I want. Oh no, we don't think that's the best option for you. What you mean? That,
Like, is it the best
that,
option for anybody else?
that, it's like you need to take a break in between to get your mind to rest. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I've seen that, and I've seen the effects of it. Why would I want to take a break in the middle of something I want to learn and then start forgetting bits and pieces of it and then go back into trying to do the second part or trying to do something related in that field and I done got to go through my notes and I got to
You know what I'm saying?
learn everything all over again. I'm like, nah, just give it to me one after another, back to back. But yeah,
Anyway,
it's anyway, yeah.
corporal
Alrighty,
education.
yeah, it's crazy. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. Before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.